Hey everybody, it's Miss J. I'm so excited to celebrate Frederick Douglass Day with you. This book is very special to me because I grew up down the street from Frederick Douglass' house and I grew up knowing about why he chose February 14th for his birthday. It was because of all of the love that his mom had for him. This book talks about why and how she loved him so much, even through enslavement. I know that you're going to really enjoy this book, so let's get started. The book is called Love 12 Miles Long, and that's because when Frederick Douglass was young, he was taken away from his mom and given to another enslaver. That enslaver was 12 miles away, and she would walk to see him, even though they were separated.
Love 12 Miles Long, written by Glenda Armand and illustrated by Colin Bootman. Love 12 Miles Long. This was a special night. Mama had come to visit, and Frederick's stomach was full of the sweet ginger cake she had brought him. As Frederick sat on his mama's lap, her warmth and the sound of her singing filled the candlelit kitchen. Frederick thought about how happy he had been when he lived with Mama and Grandmama Betsy. Now he lived far away from them in old Master's house, where cook, mean old Auntie Kathy, took care of him. When his mama stopped singing, Frederick asked, as he always did, "Mama, why can't I live with you?" "I wish you could live with me, Frederick," Mama said. "But you know I can't look after you while I work in the cornfields all day long." "Can I come visit you?" asked Frederick. "No, child, it's too far away." "How far?" he asked. 12 miles. "But you walked here, Mama." "Oh, it's not far from me," she said. "The way I walk makes the journey shorter." "Tell me how you walk, Mama. Tell me how you make it shorter." Frederick looked at Mama. Her eyes reflected the candlelight as she smiled at her son. "Every mile is special, Frederick. Every mile is for something different." Now came Frederick's favorite part. "What's the first mile for, Mama?" he asked. "That's when I do my forgetting," Mama answered. "What do you forget?" "I forget how tired I am, and I forget that my back hurts and my feet and my hands ache. I forget that I've worked all day and I have to be in the fields again at sunup. And when the forgetting's done, I start remembering. That's what the second mile is for." "What do you remember on the second mile?" Frederick asked. "I remember you, Frederick. I remember how you like to chase squirrels, and I remember how you can eat. I remember how you like to ask questions." Frederick laughed, and Mama pulled him closer. "I remember how happy I am that you are my son," she added. Frederick sat up and stuck out his chest. "I am Harriet Bailey's son." "Remember that when Aunt Kathy is unkind to you," Mama said. She looked up as she heard Aunt Kathy stirring in the loft up above. "What else do you remember, Mama?" Frederick asked. "I remember to listen," Mama said. "Is that what the third mile is for?" Frederick asked. "Yes," said Mama, "for listening to the sounds of the night." "What do you hear, Mama?" "I hear crickets chirping and owls hooting and animals rustling in the trees." "Can you understand them, Mama?" "Yes, Frederick." Mama spoke just above a whisper. "When I listen to the night sounds, what I hear is, 'Look up, Harriet, look up.'" "Looking up. That's what the fourth mile is for, right, Mama?" Frederick said. Mama nodded. "For looking up and seeing the stars." "How many stars, Mama?" "Too many to count. Sometimes I can see them spread out all before me. Sometimes they even wink at me, one by one through the treetops. I look up at the stars and I wonder. What do you wonder about? Asked Frederick. I spend the 5th mile wondering about God. This God that made the stars and the animals and you and me. Mama, yes, Frederick? Why did God make us slaves? Oh, God didn't make us slaves, Frederick. We're all God's children, and a better day is coming. How do you know? Frederick asked. Because I pray, she answered. You spend the 6th mile praying, right? Said Frederick, folding his hands. I know how to pray too, Mama. Uncle Isaac taught me the Lord's Prayer. Uncle Isaac taught me that prayer too when I was a child, she said. He's a wise old man born in Africa. Where is Africa? Frederick asked. Oh, it's far, far away. Too far to walk? Yes, even for me, Mama said, chuckling. It's across the wide, wide ocean. How wide is the ocean? Oh, it's too wide to measure, Frederick. Are there people free in Africa? Oh, they're free, but life is hard still, even in Africa. When you're free, though, you don't mind hard work. That's what I pray for, Frederick. I pray that one day we'll all be free. And all that praying makes me feel like singing. The 7th mile is for singing, Frederick said. What do you sing, Mama? Sad songs or happy ones? I sing whatever my heart feels. The singing lightens my soul when the songs be happy or sad. And when my soul is light, I'm ready to walk the 8th mile. What's the 8th mile for? Frederick asked, smiling. I think about happy things and I think about good times. What good times, Mama? Oh, like the corn shucking time when we go from farm to farm helping one another with the harvest. We see which team can shuck the fastest and build the biggest mountain of corn. You never saw a pile of corn so high in your life. How high, Mama? Too high to measure, Frederick. It's work, but it's also a time for sharing our burden and laughing and joking. Then, after the work is done, there's plenty of eating and plenty of dancing. Dancing, said Frederick. Do you dance, Mama? I sure do. Corn shucking dance and the buzzard lope and the pigeon wing. Frederick giggled at the names. Well, let's just see you dance, mister, Mama said. Come on, I'll show you the pigeon wing. They got up and danced in the candlelit kitchen. Mama flapped her long arms and Frederick wiggled his short ones. She lifted him up and they spun around. Then they held each other close before sitting down. Frederick knew they were getting close to the last mile and that Mama would be leaving soon. He did not want to ask about the next mile. He hoped that if they kept dancing, he never asked, his Mama would never leave. As Mama led him back to their chair, she said gently, Do you know what the 9th mile is for, Frederick? It's for giving thanks, right, Mama? That's right. I thank God for giving me life and for being healthy enough to walk here. I thank God for you, Frederick. You give me hope. Is the 10th mile for hoping? Yes, Frederick. I have great hope for you. I have hope that one day we'll live together as a family when we're free. Mama, what will free be like? Frederick asked, yawning. Now you're talking about the 11th mile. The 11th mile is for dreaming. I dream about being free, that we'll have our own land and we'll work for ourselves, that there'll be no slaves or masters and no one will own us. Do you dream about me, Mama? Oh, yes, I dream about your future, Frederick. You are very smart. I know that you won't be a slave your whole life. You're going to do big, important things one day. But right now, it's time for you to go to bed. But I'm not tired, Mama, Frederick said. I know, But Mama has to start back. Mama hugged Frederick once more and walked him to where he slept on the pantry floor. Frederick lay down on a thin corn husk mattress, and Mama knelt beside him and covered him with a warm blanket. Frederick's eyelids were heavy as he asked, Mama, what's the 12th mile for? The last mile is the easiest one, Frederick. She bent down to kiss his cheek. The 12th mile is for love. By the time Mama slipped into the moonlit night, Frederick was asleep. When he woke up early the next morning, Frederick ran outside and looked down the road he knew Mama had walked on. Through his sadness, he could still feel Mama's presence. He thought about all the things she said to him. Mama had told him there were things that he could not count or measure, that there were too many stars and the ocean was too wide and the mountains of corn were too high. But there was one thing he could measure. Frederick knew with all his heart that his mama's love was 12 miles long. This is the afterword. It tells you a little bit about Frederick Douglass' life and how he actually did fulfill his mother's dream. He gained his freedom and he became a really important person in this world. That's why we're celebrating him and honoring him. If you're reading this on February 14th, you're reading it on Frederick Douglass' birthday. Happy birthday, Frederick Douglass. The end.